What's going on, people? Today I'm doing a video on the Real Steel Phasma Free. You can see the logo here. If the camera was a focus, there we go. Real Steel. On the back you have the designer's logo, that's Poltergeist Works. And the steel is D2. Very nice, clean, very appealing design to me. And the measurement of this knife goes as follows. It's a stainless steel frame lock, it's not titanium. The steel, as I mentioned, is D2. The blade length is 3.3 inches. The thickness of the blade is 0.12. The overall length is 7.76. And the steel, the material that the handle is made of is 3CR13 stainless. I'm going to do some size comparisons here. Here it is up against the Yojimbo. Next up, we gotta put it up against the Para 3. And I like lining things up pivot to pivot as best as possible. And here it is up against the Spyderco Dragonfly. And just to throw a custom in there, put it up against the Randy Doucette Interceptor. Alright, let's talk about what you get, how it's packaged. It's the packaging here. Has this kind of wood grainy laminate type of thing going on here. You get this is sitting over the blade, and you get this gray ShamWow cloth. Yeah. ShamWow. No, it's a microfiber cloth, but anyways. Yeah. Also comes with this little card. The card has the information that I read for you there. And we'll just set this stuff aside and talk about the knife. Now, Jacob from Poltergeist Works has been working with Real Steel extensively, so you'll see quite a few of his designs being done by Real Steel, and his work both in the production from Real Steel as well as his custom work is famously known for having this 2-screw system. And the camera doesn't want to focus for some reason, and it did. There we go. And they're both the same size, so they're interchangeable. You have a pocket clip that sits in a counterboard portion here. Has those flathead screws, so there's no obstruction going into your pocket. It sits in the pocket fairly deeply too, so it's not like anyone's going to really recognize that you have a knife unless they look at it long enough. Well, yes, very neutral style handle, very neutral, but I like it. I like it. It doesn't force your fingers into a dedicated digit position, right? You could sit up here, which is like one of my favorite grips. I like to sit up here. And then there's this cutout portion that is not replicated on this side. Primarily for the cutout, but it does create this nice silhouette. So yeah, it's extremely neutral. You got your jimping here. Jimping's grippy when you want it to be grippy. Nice full flat grind with the swedge here. Like I said, it was very appealing to me, so that's why I ended up getting it. Plus it gave me a chance to mess around with some Chinese D2. Has this back spacer here. I'm not sure if it's some like heat colored steel or actual brass. I'm not quite sure about that. Might have to look into that. If you look deeply in here, you see there's some recessed there's some pockets along this side, and if we could get it on the locking side, there are some pockets milled out just above the lock bar on the inside. This knife overall is, well, according to the paper, it's 4.66 ounces. So I know a lot of people are into that whole ounce per blade length kind of thing. I'm not really into that. It's not really my thing. I like knives with some heft to it, you know. And this one's alright. Although some people might say it might be a little bit heavy for them, for the size that you're getting. But yeah, it's very neutral handle, very comfortable too. See, there's chamfering along the sides here, and you'll notice here that there's a hump on the top of the handle itself. There's a hump, and when the blade's open, it lines up with that hump, almost like they just wanted to fit in that extra bit of height to the blade. Yeah, funny little backstory on why there's two different types, because there's one that you see here. This is the Phasma Free, and the other one is just called the Phasma. So this one, the serial number for this one is 9224, and the other Phasma, the one with the thumb stud, is 9223. And the reason why there's two different types here is because there's certain laws in certain parts of the world where they give you only two choices. You can either have a two-hand openable locking folder or a one-hand openable non-locking folder. So that's why some of Poltergeist's designs have been translated in both thumb-studded and just fullered. So you'll have certain ones. I can't remember the names of the other ones, but yeah, they come in one either with a thumb hole or with a fuller. Now, for me, I took a gamble because I'm very familiar with manipulating knives with fullers, folding knives with fullers. So took a chance on it. I was like, you know what, I think I could manage to do the one hand opening with this. And how I do that is basically because of how narrow the fuller is, if you try to do it with your thumb, I don't know if you can see that little bit of flex, it pushes into the lock bar, and this thing has a fairly big detent ball. It's ceramic, by the way, if you're wondering. Oh, and this thing runs on a 2-washer system. So on the outside, rubbing against the pressing against the frames themselves, that one is like a almost looks like Nylatron. It's black, synthetic, and then on the inside against the blade and the synthetic washer, black synthetic washers, is phosphor bronze, and phosphor bronze one has holes in it. So I guess that's just like, hold some oil when you drip some in there and whatnot. But yeah, anyways, back to how I open this with one hand. So basically because whenever I use my thumb to open it, it's going to press into the bar. So what I do is I just have my middle finger help keep the blade stable, and then kind of hold it like the kung fu movies, tiger claw style, but not too tightly, just a little bit. And you could open it one-handed, no problem. But of course, if you don't have that type of skill set and you're interested in this, you're better off getting the thumb-studded one. Anyways, the D2. In terms of the D2, was very interesting, right? A lot of people that have been testing D2 from coming out of China has been getting some poor results. I would say I got some pretty decent results out of this one. So I'll send you up to some footage, cut footage, and I'll do more talking during that footage and then get right back to it. Alright. For the testing, I used Amazon's packaging cardboard. Taped off the blade until I exposed a 1-inch section, to which I usually favor using the flattest portion of the blade. And the following sharpening progressions, I used the A.S.O.K.A Sharp Maker diamond rod. Now mine's a little bit more worn, so it's a bit closer to maybe 400 grit now. Then I moved on to using a 15 micron diamond film mounted on the Edge Pro's blank plate. And then finishing the sharpening progression with the 0.5 micron diamond film mounted on the other Edge Pro blank plate. Now I know it's a pretty crazy jump, but it seemed to work for me. I've tested other blades with this and used the blades as regular EDC, and surprising results. I might end up making a mini series talking about my experimental sharpenings, and each series will represent a different experimental sharpening progression. But yeah, it seemed to have worked well with this. I've tested this blade twice. I used the same progression twice. Oh, forgot to mention that for the stropping, I used the following diamond paste loaded leather strops in the following progressions: 5 micron, 3.5, 1 micron, and 0.5 microns. Edge came out nice, smooth, and shiny. Still got that bite to it because the sharpening progression jump. I went through the cardboard pretty well, I must say. So for the first test, I've gotten a total of 160 feet worth of cardboard before the edge could no longer reliably slice paper. And in the second test, which is the test that you're viewing right now, I got a total of 162 feet worth of cardboard cuts before it would no longer reliably slice paper. And it wasn't like it was truly struggling, but overall it was just hiccuping up for a bit. Now with that being said, let's get back up top. And we're back. So what I got to say about this, well, like I said, I was very drawn to the design of this knife. I like the fact that it's very neutral handle, neutral in hand. Means I don't have to deal with any restrictions with finger troils and whatnot. It's fairly free. Phasma free. I know, bad pun. Anyways, in terms of the pocket clip, another thing I have to mention about the pocket clip is that it goes in and out of the pocket fairly easily and still remains secure. I don't remember where I heard it from, but I did hear they were gonna do some G10 or micarta versions of this. Basically, just like what they're doing with like the Luna, their that poltergeist design slip joint that Real Steel is doing. But yeah, overall, I'm enjoying it. Oh, I forgot to mention that. Well, I don't remember if I mentioned it in the during the testing footage. But yeah, this comes from the factory at 15 thousandths behind the edge, and after me sharpening it, which is twice so far, it is increased to 16 thousandths, which is still not bad. Really nice. Still slices with ease. Even after the testing, it's still going through the cardboard. The paper, of course, yeah, it's not like that tested section. Not really cutting paper that well, but still roughly gets through it. There's a few like hiccups in these portions here, but yeah, overall it's a cool knife. I like it a lot. Many people would say, like, wish it would be a little bit lighter, but yeah, they're more than likely coming with some lighter weight versions of this. Don't know if they're going to stick with the frame lock. Probably going to be a liner lock for those ones. Not really sure, but only time will tell. Anyways, that's the video on this guy. And the camera still wants to dick around. Come on, camera. Come on, camera. There we go. Hope you enjoyed the video. Y'all take care. I'm out.